groups. Comanches were actually, but within all of that, our own thing, even amongst related tribes, Utes, Shoshones, and always seen and treated as distinct, as very, very individual, very unique within those groups. And so being our own thing, there's so much tribal history from the late 1600s on. If it happened on the Central Plains, there was Comanches involved, and that's just how it was. We were masters of horse trading and breeding programs, and it was just so much a part of the way of life, from the time you're born till it was your time to go. And so the movement with which Comanches moved around the country, the places that they went into and such, the influence, the proximity of the Comanche people within all these histories, all these other shared histories. That's why how Comanches ended up with the Gourd dances. So again, I want to introduce from Comanche Nation, Oklahoma, Mr. Paige Burgess. Share some words.
Marawe, Nanani, Paige Burgess, Comanche and Pawnee. I wanted to take time to just talk about, this Gourd dance here, and also give you guys a chance to get to the refreshment, because I know I was blocking it. So just wanted to get out of that area for a little bit. There is water and coffee over there. I know I was just in the way. I'm sorry. I'm Comanche, and I'm from Anadarko, Oklahoma. Next month, I turned 40, and it just kind of hit me the other day. I've been singing since I was 8, and first thing I learned about singing was Gourd dance. So I've been singing at this drum for over 30 years. And, since we've been out here, me and my family, we hear a lot about cows. Not too many Comanches will come up and talk about what our Gourd dance is, because each family did this Gourd dance differently. Each band did this Gourd dance differently. Now, what I can tell you from a singer standpoint, from what I was told as a young kid onto my older age here, I was told that if you look back at one of the earliest pictures of a Comanche dress, which is in the late 1800s, what he was wearing was a bandolier and a black shawl with leggings. That's exactly what you're going to see when you come to this Gourd dance. And by that example alone, that's when I was told that's how long we had it. We have it so long that to this day, we still dress that way in this Gourd dance. So when you see that black shawl and that bandolier and those leggings or braids, we was always told this was church and you dress your best. So, our Kawas, we give them respect because they kept that history. Now, my great-grandfather, Old Man Yellowfish, back in the early 1900s, turn of the century, they were trying to convert us over to Christianity. And, there's boarding schools, there's terrible stories about people being forced to learn this Christianity. My great-grandfather was not forced. He was chief at the time of our Comanche people. And out of respect of that Bible and that name, Jesus Christ, he put his stuff down. It wasn't forced. So I know there's a lot of stories out there that says we were forced. That's not our family. We were respected in that way. We took that respect and we put our stuff down. And that was also during the time when the government forbid us to do these dances. So up north, they have what they call treaty people. They respect that treaty they put forth with the government. And that's exactly what my great-grandfather did. He just laid it down, not only respect of the government, because of that name, Jesus Christ. And because of it, my family is the original ones that brought that Bible inside that teepee. And it was not okay at the time. And that was back in the 1920s. There were still traditional people out there. And what you call roadmen. They would go to different areas and share this medicine, this peyote, inside these teepees. And they brought that Bible in. And a lot of these traditional people did not like it at that time. Again, we weren't forced to. We learned about this. And the best way I can describe to people when they ask us why we put it down is because we were told, we had prophets in our tribe. We had healers in our tribe. But when they told us about this man named Jesus Christ, what he did is he did everything out of love. And now only our elders at that time could really understand that. Where your enemy, you love thy enemy. Despite whatever, that's, for us as Comanche, we were warriors. That's something you learn in the older age, where you didn't have to fight. You can fight them with love. That's something that's so strong when you really think about it. To love someone who doesn't even care for you. That in itself, we learn that. That's something that is strong to us. So we put that stuff down out of love. We didn't want to fight. We wanted to love each other. So that's what I was told. In this Gourd dance, we put that dance down. So we lost a lot of our history. And again, we respect those cows for holding strong onto those histories. Because again, each family did the Gourd dance differently. There's a family back home in the Gourd dance, they would let horses in that arena with them. They would dance with horses along with it. Now I was told by my Uncle Mike Burgess, when this Gourd dance started with the Comanches, again, just like Dwayne here said, it came from a Sundance. We used to Sundance. Kiowas used to Sundance. This was part of that Sundance. It wasn't Sundance itself that led into Sundance. So even the Kiowas have a calendar that they used to keep long ago. And after each year, they would show a picture of an animal of what they ate for that feast, for that ceremony, for that Sundance. And on the last recorded history, which is back in the early 1900s, the last picture they had was of a horse. They ate a horse. They were starving. They put that Sundance down after that. That's the last recorded Sundance they had. So after that, they put a lot of that Gourd dance, Sundance down. But they still had that history of that Gourd dance because, again, each family tried to keep strong on what they knew. So again, when it's time to revive that, these old men, people say cows. It was a majority of cows. What a lot of people don't know, my great-grandfather, Joe Atokeny, was brought in by those cows to revive these songs. So a lot of these songs you hear actually came from Comanches. And this is where we always get a mix with cows and Comanches back home. We'll say this is Kiowa song, this is a Comanche song, but no one's going to disagree to it. Again, we were in this, like my brother said, we were in anything that was going on in the Central Plains, we were part of. The Cheyennes did things differently. There's recorded histories on these Cheyennes dancing with arrows. In the earliest history I was told by my Uncle Mike, he said there was a Spaniard back in the late 1800s that came up upon a Comanche camp, and they were Gourd dancing. What he was describing was Gourd dance, but how he described it was there wasn't a drum. They were lined up in rows, maybe in a log formation, rows. That's when you go back home, sometimes we line up in rows. It wasn't a circle. We didn't have an arena. And what they recorded was they had gourds. Somebody would start a song, and as soon as they start that song, they would get up and kind of just shuffle back and forth like that. As soon as that song was done, we didn't go ho at the end. We just sat back down to our seat, and then somebody else would go with that gourd. And again, from our singing, even to our dancing, it's different to what powwow is. Powwow singing is different from Gourd dance. When you sing powwow, it's more of it's a force. When we were singing, you have to imagine these rows. You want these guys to get into it. So you're going to sing that song. And when you just have to imagine all these guys finally putting that song up, learning it, it gets stronger and stronger. There wasn't 4 times through, it was just that feeling. And when they stop, they'll stop and get back to their seat, sit down, wait for the next one to go. And just like, Dwayne said, it was during the hottest time of the year in the summer. We still do that back home. People say, why do you dance in this 100-degree heat? Back at Comanche homecoming, it gets about 120. I said, if you really want a Gourd dance, go there. If you really want to commit yourself, again, we do these things like they talked about. It was a man's dance. We go out there, and this is what I was told when you go out there. You sing along with those songs. You get that gourd and you sing along with these songs. These songs are old, hundreds of years. They each belong to a certain family, but they have healing in these songs. Again, it comes from Sundance that prepared ourselves for that Sundance. If you knew anything about that Sundance, you fast. You are preparing your body for that Sundance ceremony. So to be out there at the hottest time of the day, which would be about 1, 2 o'clock when that sun is peak, we'll be out there dancing. And we didn't have, we couldn't drink water freely. We had water boys. If that water boy didn't come around and give you water, you kept dancing anyway. Again, you should be focused on why you're there. You should be focused on who brought you in, because that's another thing. Whoever brought you into this arena, you respect them in their ways. That's why I see my brothers, my kin, my uncles out here. They have been to many dances back home. They have been to many dances. I'm not talking about power. I say dances, Gourd dances. They know when that spirit is there. They know when that drum is feeling it. That's why I respect them like that, because not too many people, they'll come out here and just shake a gourd. Go like that. Again, if you really respected on who brought you in, you would do what they're told. And that's why I respect them in that way, because they were brought in Kiowa way. My son was brought in Kiowa way. We tell him when you go out there, you're dressed in Kiowa. He's also Comanche. So when he goes back home, he puts an otter cap on. But when he goes around these Kiowa relatives, he might put a roach on, or just dress nice, tuck in his shirt. Because that's what you're told. We're long sleeve. And when you go out there, sing along with these songs and think about us. Think about us families. Think about your mom and dad, your grandma, whoever's your friends who was ever healing, sick, needed to be healed. That's what you're out there for. You're suffering for them. You're putting yourself through that in order to take almost that pain, to heal somehow. There's a lot of times you have a relative you wish you could switch places with them because they're in so much pain. Well, that's it right there. You think about them. Your mom couldn't make it. When you're out here because you're dancing. Like they would say, you're dancing for people who can't. Always remember that. So when you're out there, try to learn these songs. That's the only advice I can give you. Try to learn these songs. It's not just the dance itself, but right there. Again, this is Comanches. This is what I was told. Kiowas would say, they don't know their history. They don't know. Again, each family did it differently. Each Comanche band did it differently to the next. And you could see that by just going into their homelands. Just like now, when we pass that dance hall, we go to out here, we see it differently. It doesn't mean it's wrong. Because again, like my brother said, it's all about fellowship. Coming together. And again, it's church. So come with respect. Come dressed nicely. Again, it's just, if you see me at a powwow, when I'm at a Gourd dance, I behave myself. If you really know me, I joke around a lot. But when I'm here at this drum at Gourd dance, I sit there and act like I'm stoic or something. I really want to say something, but it's not powwow. Powwow, you can joke around. Here, like my brother said, MCing, there's a different type of style of MCing for Gourd dance. And it's just letting people be informed. That's what that purpose of that MC for that Gourd dance is, to inform people. Because there is a protocol. There's certain things we do. My brothers, my uncles over here, they know exactly what I'm talking about. When it comes to a certain song, they'll honor someone. A lot of times when your head's down, you pull these people in to honor them at a certain time. So there's a protocol, and that's when the MC will say, hey, we're honoring this person. We're singing this person's song. You really have to be informed of what's going on in order to speak on it. So that's why I came up here again. I realized I'm almost 40. I turn 40 next month. Not too many people, again, they think I joke around a lot. I do. But when that knowledge of that drum sitting there all my life, it's something that you can't get going to school, getting a PhD. There's songs that have to be sung in order. Not too many people can do that. When I come out here, I get invited to come to these places because they need help. And I was told as a singer, when anybody asks you to come to do something, as a singer, you was raised as a singer, you do it. You don't ask how much, you just do it. If you can make it, say yes. So I come here because Cedric asked me to. I come to these Gourd dances because someone asked me to. Again, I joke around. They know the knowledge I have over here just by singing certain songs. There's certain times they ask me to sing certain songs for them. Again, I'm not trying to take a glory from anybody. I'm not trying to be better than the next person. I'm just letting you guys know that I've been at this drum for this long, and you cannot be at that drum that long and not know nothing. That's why I have my son sitting here. He's been here since he was 8. He's 16 now. 16 years from now, I don't care if he's wherever, he's going to learn something from that drum that most people can't learn in their books. That's something I force upon my child, because again, you're going to bring this knowledge to people who don't have it and want to know about it, want to hear about it. I think that's why I'm up here right now saying these things, because again, it's not an exclusive dance. It's meant for everyone. If you're looking to just enjoy yourself, again, you can ask any Gourd dancer, they come out their pocket just to be there. They don't expect nothing back. But because of that, they're going to get more back spiritually. Right here, you just got to make your way there. And then again, you're going to feel that, what I'm talking about, that spirit. You're going to feel it one day, you're just going to break down and cry in that arena. Sometimes you're going to break down and cry at that drum. I've seen grown men do that here. So there's nothing that no one can tell me that there is not a spirit. No, there is. When when those singers get going, that drum, just everyone's on beat. You just hear those gourds, everybody. And again, the Kiowa Gourd clan, they hold that during a certain time of the year. It is a beautiful sight to see. That's where you're going to see that spirit. Not feel it, but see it. By seeing all those dancers out there. If you want to see that spirit, go out there. If you want to feel it, get out there. But you got to ask first. Just say, again, you got knowledgeable people here. How do I get started? Have anybody that ever asked me, how do I get to Gourd dance? It's the same thing I was told as a young kid. All you need is a gourd and a fan and a bandolier. Get out there, tuck your shirt in. That's how you start. That's how I started my son. We didn't have much, but we put him out there. And all that, while he's out there, people start giving him stuff. That's what's going to happen. People are going to acknowledge you. And when you see that acknowledgement, it's going to feel good. Again, this is where you're going to get it, right here. So again, just like church, that's where you're gonna feel that acknowledgement right here. So anyways, again, my name is Paige Burgess. I'm Comanche from Anadarko, Oklahoma. I reside here in Santa Fe. I'm just kind of honored to be here and just share a little bit of what I know. Again, if anybody ever wants to talk about these dances and songs, that's just who I am. So again, just want to put that out there, and I just say, "Ha, Mesana."
Thank you to our relative here for sharing our Limina perspective here, our Comanche relatives. Again, they have several related societies. Comanche Little Ponies is the main Gourd Dance Society. There's also Black Knife Bird Society, Hui. There's several different things, all kind of related ceremonially within Comanche Nation. And they have a long history with war dance and gourd dance, as we mentioned. So we're going to turn it back over to the drum at this time for another session of singing. Again, thank you to Paige for sharing those words. Good job.